What is up, you guys? We're going to do a good old-fashioned late night. It's not really that late, but just freaking chit-chat type of live stream. It's been a while, friends. It's been a while. Where is this? Come on now. My phone has not been showing me. There we go. My phone has not been showing me comments on my freaking phone for live streams lately for whatever reason. But whatever. What's up? What's up? If you guys are jumping on live, say hello so I know who's here. Hopefully I can actually friggin' see. I'm just going to talk about all this stuff. Like, there's so many things happening, and I feel like eventually I may make a million posts about it, but for now, here we are. We're just going to chit-chat. What's up, Jeree? Hey, girl. Hey, girl. I see some really familiar names popping up. That makes me so happy. You guys, like, I just realized, like, obviously I've known what day it was all day. First of all, like, I have straight hair today. I have no eye makeup on. Shit's, like, weird. What is happening? Hey, Megan. So, I was sitting here finishing up some work in my computer, doing some stuff, and, like, just thinking, hey, Katie. Just thinking, like, I made a post the other night on here saying, like, holy shit, my whole life is changing, right? Totally by design, like, don't get me wrong. But it's funny because it keeps, like, hitting me out of nowhere. I feel like I'm, like, sitting here doing something, especially in the evenings, and I'm like, I'm moving. Holy hell, I'm moving. So, it's exciting, and I cannot freaking wait, you guys. Like, literally, I'm starting this brand new year with, like, brand new everything, and I'm so stoked about that. But I also wanted to tell you guys about a few things, like, that are actually happening too, because of course, why not just do everything at the same time, right? Thank you, Megan, you're a sweetheart. And hey, Emily, what up, girl? So, big things, right? So as you guys know, I have my Operation Do group that's still doing its thing. My Project Manage Your Health thing, group is coming out, and that's going to be something that's going to be so freaking fun. I cannot wait. Hey, Ryan, what's up? But for a while there, like, I didn't go completely silent, but you guys probably noticed I kind of, like, took a step back um, from how much I was, live and doing my shit before. And it was really because I was going through some, like, legit changes over here. Like, I'm constantly evolving, don't get me wrong. I'm always digging in deeper and seeing new people, like, coaches and different things. And that's always just kind of part of the journey for me. But, like, the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months have been, like, completely on a whole nother level. And I'm so grateful. And it's been a wild ride. And I've shared a lot of the different things with you guys. But during that time, I kind of got a little quiet. And it was mainly just because I was standing in the middle of everything and just kind of figuring out some new levels and some new things and some new stuff. Like, what do I want to talk about? What is even a deeper level of this purpose, right? And so it's been a beautiful piece of what I've been doing. And I was so excited to kind of finally get to a place where I'm like, okay, I can finally put this into words. So I've showed up here a few times with you guys and just kind of went over and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not about to dive into that, so don't go anywhere yet. I'm not going to talk about all that. But I'm like, this is basically how I help people, because there was a big, like, super deep level of how I was working with people that I wasn't talking about. Just simply, for a few reasons. One, mainly because it was just, like, second nature to me. But second of all, like, I really wasn't sure how you guys were going to take it, or really even how to explain it to you, quite honestly. As far as, like, mindset work and spirituality and energy and light work and, like, healing and all of that stuff being a part of also how I help people take control of their businesses and grow their businesses and all of that too. And so it's, like, so interesting how all of it is really intertwined at this point. And it's just gotten so much deeper and so much more cool and, like, so beautiful. I can't freaking, like, it lights me up if you can't tell. So a couple other things are coming out of that, and that's really what I'm, like, hanging out here talking. Everybody that's popping on, say hey, say what's up. Anybody who's here who has any questions about anything, you guys know how much I love just chit-chatting on here. And if you have questions, I'm always an open book to talk about whatever. So type it in if you have any questions. So one of the things that is happening, and Tiffany, my assistant, has already kind of started the process of this for me, is I have talked about doing Coffee Thoughts Live on here for a long time, and it just didn't work out the way that I wanted to do it. And so I've been like playing around with the best way to kind of start that type of thing. And so it's going to be a podcast, Intentional Living 101, and that will definitely be amazing. I can't wait. But they're going to be like short episodes, like 20 to 30 minutes. So they're good, quick, like plug it in, listen to what you want to listen to, get your kick in the pants, like get your information, move forward. It's not going to be super long, drawn out episodes that take you forever to listen to. I want them to be things that you can listen to on your way to work real quick, or whatever it may be. But I'm so excited. I just have so much to talk about all the time, honestly, and like things that I want to share more with the world, but I just don't always have like the opportunity. So the Facebook world will also obviously get the podcast stuff, but the podcasts will be happening. They'll be, like I said, weekly episodes. I'll let you know when that's starting. It'll probably be the end of January. We're getting everything set up, but I also am just now moving. So I don't want to promise certain dates earlier than the end of January simply because I'm about to get there, and I need to breathe and like get settled and still have time with my clients and all that good stuff. So basically it's going to be different topics each week, good nuggets, things that you can actually just implement within your life, in every single area. So I'm super stoked about that. That's really exciting. Richard, looking forward to working with you. Yes, new project management class. Super excited. It sounds perfect for what you're looking for. I can't wait to have you in there. I'm so passionate about that project. It was one of those things that literally just came to me. And then I was talking to my coach about it, and for some reason I didn't put it out there for like a month or so, or maybe even 2 months. And then I came back to it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still so passionate about this project. Like, I'm putting it out there. Fuck it, basically is what happened. And I reread what I had written about it, and I popped it in, and I'm like, nope, this is happening. This is just like, this is my jam. Helping people realize how to actually fit things into their world that they need is so big. And like, I've had to deal with that within myself, of having doctors and nutritionists and, personal trainers and chiropractors and massage therapists and, pain management shots and like all of these things to try to figure out, ailments that I had with my back and my shoulder, but also my blood sugar condition and anxiety and all of these things. And like trying to figure out how the fuck to manage it all and fit it into my life was like super overwhelming. And like, I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, if I didn't have this like sixth sense to be super organized and be this project manager person in general, and like, basically, I had to live that way for such a long time before I figured out how to manage my health the way that I do now. Just because I was so sick for so long, I literally wouldn't have been able to do anything, like anything at all, because of how sick I was, if I wouldn't have been able to at least somewhat prepare and pre-plan. And so that's when I kind of realized, and I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine. For those of you who possibly do have like have a chronic illness or something like that that you deal with, you may want to check out this podcast that I was interviewed on. It's for Sick Biz is what it's called. And basically we talk a lot about like how to deal with that and how to deal with when you have an illness that you just have to deal with every day, and you don't let it stop you, but you just learn how to manage it basically. And so that's kind of where the idea came from, quite honestly. And so I'm like, you know what? This is the piece of the puzzle, the missing piece of the puzzle that most people don't get when they hire those other professionals. Those people aren't experts in teaching you how to fit that shit into your plan. So I'm going to take that project management, like organization side of me, as well as the mindset side of what I teach, and I'm going to put them together to really help people fit that in. So Megan, I think that just answered your question. It's basically going to be a 3-week masterclass where we go over that. There'll be chances for people to ask their specific questions, like based upon your specific situation, and we can talk directly about those things. But it's also just going to be a lot of things that you can keep and take home and start implementing in your life. Obviously, when it's all said and done, it comes down to you making it happen. But I'm going to give you the tools that you need to fit all that stuff in and really be able to manage it without being so overwhelmed that you just don't do it. Because that tends to be what we do. We get so overwhelmed that we just take no action at all, right? So that's the plan. And it's $127 is what it is, or you can do 2 payments of $65 if you do the payment plan and you sign up. I think there's like 3 or 4 more days left on the payment plan. before that goes away, simply because I want people to be able to be paid by the time that the group is over. And if I pushed it out any longer than that, um, it wouldn't do that. So there's nothing fun about running out payment plans longer than your program runs. That's no fun for anybody. Thank you, Jerry. I'm super excited about that. Good, Richard. I'm happy. I'm so glad to have you in it. It's going to be great. All right, awesome, Megan. Dealing with severe anxiety almost my entire life. I would love any help I can get. This sounds amazing. Yeah, Katie, you know what's funny is for so many years I didn't acknowledge that it was actually anxiety that I was suffering from. I didn't really know what it was. I just truly thought that the way that I felt was just kind of the way that I felt. And it was until I realized there was pieces of it that I couldn't control that I acknowledged what it was. And I'm really glad that I did. Not that I put a name on it. I'm like, that's just my anxiety because I don't like that. But it allowed me to have more clarity on what I could do and preventative not only medicine but like also the way that I've taught people to treat me, like specifically in my current relationship, like my boyfriend's very aware of the things that cause me anxiety. And so he does his best to not do those things because he knows that they will freaking trip me out. Like, and there's no rhyme or reason. So anybody who's never dealt with anxiety, it's difficult to explain. Like, it's really like it feels really illogical when it's happening, but you can't really you can't control it always. And so if you can identify where it's coming from and you can communicate clearly and accept that, then you can help a lot with that. Yeah, Katie, that might be, and the course might actually be a nice place for you too. But yeah, you guys, so I wanted to talk about that's happening. My coaching is still a thing. I'm still working with people privately for coaching. And then Operation Do, my ongoing membership site, is still a thing, which I freaking love so much. That's the place that we're doing that planning challenge right now. Like basically everybody posts a photo of their planner every Sunday and they're getting entered to win for the next 90 days is the consistency side. Because even some of the people who've been in there for a long time fall off a little bit sometimes with the consistency. So this is bringing everybody back on point for the new year. This shaking is my dog. I'm sorry. He's like sleeping. Wake up, Mac. And like having a dog dream. It's shaking my entire bed. Anyway. So that's why the video is shaking like that. But anyways, so that's what we're doing that challenge you guys saw me talk about the other day. It's stoked because everybody that enters every Sunday that they enter, they get entered to win a free laser coaching session, the 90-minute one. So it's the bigger one that's like $700 or $800, I think. Stop. Hey, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You're shaking the whole damn bed. Yeah. Can you stop? It's 'cause it's such a rough life, let me tell you. No, so also for those of you, I feel like I have a lot of new people on here, which makes me really excited. So I live in St. Louis, you guys. I've lived in St. Louis my whole life. I'm 31. Yeah, 31. I always forget how old I am. It's like irrelevant to me to an extent, so I forget sometimes. But I decided like a couple of months ago that it is time for me to move for a while. And I'm moving to West Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm super stoked to do that, but it's like a brand new thing. So I've never lived more than 45 minutes away from my parents, or like basically the place I grew up in. And it's time, like it's so time for me to leave this, not only this house particularly, that's a whole very long story that if you guys are interested in, I'll get on one time and talk about. Some of you who've been here with me, you guys that are the OGs, know that I moved into this house to figure out basically whether I wanted to remain in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend and never have babies, or move here, or us, him and I, not be together because I wanted the opportunity to be a mom. And so it was a really big piece of my life, and I've shared that publicly a lot. And so like when I moved into this house 4 years ago, I was still working full time, running my business on the side, and I was still together with Tony, and I was convinced that I didn't want to have kids. Just all this interesting stuff, but I wanted to figure it out for myself, and I wanted space in order to do that. And so I moved into this house. I moved out of my amazingly awesome boyfriend who had this huge house in the country. His home when we had this conversation of like, hey, this is what I want. He's like, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. I'm like, this is what I want. And I'm not sure what I don't want, but I don't want to make the decision cast by my love I have for you. I want to make it for myself. So I moved into this house that I live in now, very close to my work at the time. You know, a few months later, obviously took on a bunch of bills, right? A few months later, that, I hope this is working. Okay. A few months later, that job and I split unexpectedly. Here I am with very little income from my second business or my side business going, what the fuck am I going to do? Where most people would have moved back in was said boyfriend who, you know, had the big house and had the business of his own and all of those things. In that moment, to find that security, I made the decision to stay in this house and continue on my path that I was on and figure out what was going on in my world. And so I did, and it was interesting the way that it happened. But I was literally like watching an episode of Grey's Anatomy one night. I'm not even kidding. Like for those of you who are in the lion's den, you can find the video. It is in there. It is extremely vulnerable. I am crying my eyes out. It is the middle of the night. It is very dramatic, but that was the moment that I realized that I had to have the option to be a mom. And so I made the decision about a year later to fully leave my relationship with Tony. And the hard part about that is that like Tony and I love each other dearly. Like we have an amazing relationship. There was never anything that bad that happened that made us break up because, you know, like a lot of times breakups happen because people did something wrong or they don't love each other anymore or whatever. That's not what happened. Like him and I were just so true to ourselves and what we wanted that we chose to go our separate paths instead of staying together and potentially hating each other or creating turmoil or whatever. We just stayed so true to what we wanted as people. And like I honor that in him and he honors that in me. And so that's kind of what brought us to where we are right now. And, you know, there's a lot of internal work and a lot of healing and a lot of patterns that have been broken through, you know, within me and things like that led up to where I'm at right now. But like I started making space for a relationship, for this type of love that I wanted. While I love Tony so much as a person and we had a great relationship, there were pieces of that still weren't exactly what I fully wanted. And he knows that. Like, so this is not me talking shit. That's not a bad thing. It's just the truth. Like there were pieces of what I wanted out of a relationship, out of a partner. Jeez Louise, Mac. Make up your mind, sir. It's all on the move. Pieces of what I wanted out of a partnership that he just didn't want anymore. So Tony's a lot older than me. He's 19 years older than me, for those of you who don't know that. And he was a professional hockey player for 12 years. And before that, he played in the minors. So like he's traveled the world like his whole life. And so he's done all the things and he's seen all the people and all the places and he just kind of wants to stay still while I'm over here like, yes, let's start a business and run around and do everything. And while he was so supportive and I couldn't have asked for a better partner when I started this business especially and have gone through this journey, like, and I can't ask for a better best friend at this point because he still is one of my very best friends in the world. You know, our lifestyle just didn't look the same anymore. What we wanted, our future just wasn't the same. And so we made the decision to go and do what we're doing now. And so, you know, I'd cleared all this space and started manifesting this relationship and writing what I wanted and how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to be supported, what kind of love I wanted. I was visualizing it and, you know, frustrated as shit because I couldn't find it. And I would date somebody like briefly, like I didn't date a lot, but it was so frustrating. And I would joke with my friends and I'm like, I don't want to date. Like, it's so stupid. It makes no sense. Like, this is dumb. Can't I just skip all this bullshit and go straight into like a committed relationship? Like, hey, I like you. Hey, you like me. Like, let's do the damn thing. And everyone used to joke at me, be like, yeah, Jamie, that's not how it works. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, that's what I'm going to do. Just wait. You know, and I'd semi be joking, but I was serious as fuck. And I'd write it in my journal almost every single day. And this summer, at the end of the summer, that's how it happened. Like, no shit. I'm not even kidding. You can ask my coach. You can ask a couple of my very best friends, but I literally turned around in a pool on a day that at a bar I wasn't supposed to be at. I don't know if Barb is still on here. I saw her name pop up before, but Barb actually works at that particular bar at the Ozarks. I wasn't supposed to be at that bar that day, and when we were going there, I was a little bummed because there's usually not like a lot of single guys there, and I was like, never mind. I'm not looking for a single guy today anyways, whatever. I'm like, I have my, lazy girl swimsuit on today. I'm just gonna eat a bunch of food and hang out with my friends, no big deal. And that's what I did. I was literally sitting on the edge of the pool, eating a cheeseburger in a bright yellow bikini, minding my fucking business when little did I know that there was a man sitting across the pool watching me, basically. And I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this story, but for those of you who are still listening, you're awesome. But I do have a point, I promise. But anyway, I was like standing in the pool and I turned around and saw him. I cracked a really smart ass joke at him and he looked me in my eyes and fucking the rest is history. I was just like, oh shit, I felt that in my fucking soul. What just happened? And yeah, I don't even really know what else to say than that, but it was almost instant, you guys. Like we're talking within a week. We were on the phone one night till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, it was like 10 hours or something we were on the phone. And we talked about everything. We uncovered everything. And then we continued to do that for a few weeks. And I went up there, he's been here, I've been there, he's been here. We've bounced back and forth. We were basically made the decision that we were in a relationship. We were doing all this very, very quickly. Like there was a moment where he's like, hey, I don't want to fuck around. Like if you're just trying to fuck around and you don't want to deal with us, like if you're not serious, like I don't want to do this. And I was like, I'm sorry, did you just read my freaking mind? Like I have no desire to play games. And so we haven't. And here we are. So it's pretty beautiful. Like honestly, I'm moving up there. You know what I mean? Like I've never felt so sure of something in my life, and here we are. So the biggest part about it too is that I've wanted to change. I just kind of was waiting for the right place to go, and that's what we're doing. And so it all just kind of came through for me, and so I'm going there. It's a change I've been wanting. It feels so fucking right. I just know for a fact that like things have been at the cusp, right? Like there's been a lot bubbling up. There's been a lot being co-created with me and the universe. There's been a lot of things uncovering and unraveling and becoming so clear lately. And like this is the point. Like this is all about to explode and it's going to be so amazing. And that's kind of why I popped on here tonight because I was like, I don't know if y'all know what's about to go down, but it's about to go down and it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Like we're talking like books being written, podcasts being started, like these programs, this coaching, retreats, like it just is what it is. It's happening. And my life has just it's been quite an interesting ride lately and I'm so stoked. Like, and I want to I share this with you guys because it's not been fucking easy. And if you've been following along at all and you've read any of my stuff, you know it's not been easy. I've been sharing more. It was funny. Somebody sent me a message one day and they're like, Jamie, like, I feel like you need a support system. Like, do you need me to like check in on you every day and give you some affirmations and some love? I feel like you need that person because you've been sharing some stuff and saying you've been going through some darkness and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself and I was like, shit. Like, I'm not in a bad place. I actually feel really great. Like, everything's really good. But yes, I have been going through these other things too. And I realized that I was sharing more of those things than I was sharing the good things. And so it was interesting, kind of realization. I was like, damn, most of the time it's different, right? People are usually only sharing like the shiny penny side of their life. And I'm over here sharing the other side. But I do this because I want you guys to realize that this shit is real and like it's possible and you can create whatever you want. So I'm stoked. I know I just threw a lot of information at you. Again, I'm just kind of rambling, but if anybody has any questions about anything at all, please feel free to ask. Because don't get me wrong, like I'm one of the only people in a very large family who's ever made the decision to move away from home. When I say a large family, I have like 50 first cousins. So, yeah, I am definitely always been kind of the outside weird one, but it's happening again. And I'm super stoked. And so as far as like the podcast goes, if you guys want to hear anything in particular, I kind of have some really good ideas. But if there's anything that you want me to talk about, for sure, shoot me a private message and let me know. For those of you who have written here that you're interested in this project managing your health program, shoot me a private message and I'll send you over the payment links and we can get you into the group. It's going to be kick ass. Let's just put it that way. Like I'm telling you, I'm going to give 4 lessons, 4 pre-recorded videos, and 4 live like Zooms, but like anybody who's worked with me and done calls with me, like I'm gonna do way more than that. I just can't help myself. It tends to just, I run my business extremely intuitively and my whole life basically extremely intuitively. So basically when I get the idea and I'm like, oh, I need to tell them this, especially if you're in like a private coaching group with me, like I just, as soon as I get that like jolt or that tap that says, hey, you need to go tell them this, I'll jump in there and tell you that. So there tends to be a lot more information than I originally state. So that's not a bad thing though. It's a good thing. So anybody who wants that, send me a PM. Other than that, you guys, like I'm just super excited and I hope you guys are excited too about everyone gets tripped out at the end of the year. And I'm like, that is the wrong way to be looking at it. Like be excited. I don't mean set 18 New Year's resolutions. Fuck that. Like that's not what you need to spend your time on. You need to spend your time on being grateful for what you have, grateful for 2018, and just really fucking excited about the new year because that's the energy. Like that's the energy that you need. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Everything happens the way it's supposed to, guys. Like 2018 was a trip. Don't get me wrong. It was quite a journey and I am grateful for every piece of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. The parts where like, that's what I love when people are like, personal development is such a beautiful awakening. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, it is, but it comes with a lot of like being balled up on the floor crying too, because you're looking at your own demons in the face and that's never fun. But you got to do it. And it's beautiful when you think about it in the long run and you look at the big picture. You're like, that is pretty fucking awesome. But thank you, Emily. I'm so grateful you found me years ago. I will never forget you when you sent me a message and said, I've been binge watching you on YouTube. And I'm like, what? I love you for that. And you are such a shining freaking example of someone who's like, I am going to take this abundance of like free information basically, and I'm going to implement it into my life and make shit happen. And you've done that. And now you're in my paid group, which is amazing. And you and I have done lots of things together. But like, I watched you create all of this simply by taking what someone was giving you as information and implementing it in your life. And that's huge. And I hope you're super proud of yourself because I'm super proud of you. And I think it's awesome. Mac, like, what do you, this dog of mine. But anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off. I just wanted to come on and say that. And I'm super excited. Keep your eyes open over here because I'm about to just, it's going to be good. Let's just say that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you might want to because, it's just jamie.thurber because a couple years ago, I decided that I was going to do behind the scenes of my like whole everything on Snapchat, which was awesome. And I love it. And I still am very active on Snapchat, but I've committed for 2019 to be that active on Instagram stories, to be giving that much behind the scenes and that much extra content information there as well. So if you guys are over there, that'll be happening too. But keep your eyes open. Podcasts, books are happening. Things are happening. It's going to be great. I'm moving. I'm freaking moving in 8 days. And it's insane. I don't even know what to say about that. Holy shit. Holy shit. My mind is blown. But anyway, it's exciting. So happy holidays, guys. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys all before then. But I just wanted to pop on and kind of ramble tonight. So thanks for those of you who have hung out with me. I think you guys are amazing. Appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you guys soon.